This stack of flashcards here is responsible for probably around 100 grand's worth of revenue for my business. And what's interesting is that it only took me about 4 hours to put this all together. Inside is a ton of different ideas, templates, stories, testimonials, tools, resources, and all these kinds of things that I can put together into a book. What I'm literally holding here is the next book that we'll be releasing. This is 5-Figure Funnels, but I've done this for my previous book, From Single to Scale and Universe Fuel, and any books that I've been asked to contribute to, as well as webinars, sales letters, sales content, blog posts, videos like this, podcasts, interviews, and every other type of content or copy that is essentially designed to increase my authority. I think the number one reason that people don't write a book is that when they sit down and look at the screen, they think, right, I'm going to write a book today. Where do I start? And the expanse of what they haven't written fills their mind. And they think, well, I have no idea where I'm going to get to. Which is why I use this technique here by breaking it down into certain topics. And I have a particular structure that I like to follow, which means that I can sit down every single day, take one of these flashcards and just grind out the next 1,000 or 500 or 1,500 or 2,000 words. On the 23rd of July this month, 2020, I'm going to be leading a workshop, and then the second half of that workshop is going to be on Thursday, the 30th of July, where I'm going to be taking you through how I write books and how you can write a book as well. From Single to Scale took me about 60 days to write. Universe Fuel took me something like 27. 5-Figure Funnels took around 30 days, something like that. And the reason I was able to write it so easily is not because the ideas were even fully formed, which we'll talk about in a bit, but it's because I insisted on breaking down the entire book into these manageable chunks, which allowed me to pick and choose what I was going to write. If I was thinking, I'm really not in the mood today, I got no energy, got no inspiration, I would pick a topic that was maybe slightly easier, and it allows me to break down the writing process into really easy, manageable chunks. And before I knew it, I was doing 1,000 or 2,000 words a day just by picking out one of these. What's also interesting about this process is that you'll find a lot of your book is already written for you. You've either written it previously, it's stored on blog posts or emails or notes. If you've ever answered a question from a customer and sent them a really long, detailed email back, chances are you're able to put it in the book, which is why we have this formula for not only breaking down the structure of the book and the chapter titles and the model and the process that you're going to take people through, as well as actually writing a lot of the sales content, blurb, branding and all of that, but we also have a look at all of the content ideas that you've got already and all of the pieces that you've probably already written, and we put them into a system which basically says, hey, I'm going to teach you, how to grow vegetables within your garden, or whatever your book is going to be about. And chances are you've already got 2 of the 6 components needed. What it also does is it shows you there's not a huge amount within a book. This, like I said, took about 4 hours. And even that was because it was a workshop. There was back and forth. There was discussion and stuff. And interestingly, having written it out on cards like this, the structure, it meant that I was able to swap things around, change chapters, add topics in, take topics out, and look at what actually am I delivering to the reader. As I mentioned, I did this for From Single to Scale, Universe Fuel. I do it for blog posts, I do it for webinars, I do it for videos like this, I do it for podcasts, and this literally here is my next book, 5-Figure Funnels. The goal is to then sit down and take this and write it out. If you've ever thought, yeah, but I've got a model or I've got ideas, but they're basically ripped off from other people, great. What that means is that you've got an understanding that's going to help your particular audience for a model that's helped you. It's not about coming up with something completely unique every single time. If you go to university or college, those lecturers talk from books that they themselves haven't written. Some of them do write their own books, and that's great, but a lot of them will talk about models and frameworks and processes from other people's content and from other people's books, rather than having to create their own from scratch. But you will have a process, and the reason I like this flashcard process is because it brings out your framework, it brings out your model, it brings out your topics. And through this very, very basic, very cheap and very fast system of getting your ideas out, you're able to basically put the framework for a book together and think, right, all I've got to do now is write it. And if you write emails every single day, if you write blog content, if you are in a Facebook group and occasionally comment, you have got the ability to write a book. It doesn't matter if you're dyslexic, it doesn't matter if you have number blindness or anything like that. Your ability to write a book is stored within your ability to break down a bunch of topics, write down a load of ideas, organize them, which I will take you through. So that's kind of the point of the video. On the 23rd and the 30th of July, both are Thursdays. It's going to be roughly 5 or 6 o'clock UK time. We'll give you the time zones. I'm leading a 2-part workshop. Both parts are 2 hours, so it's around 4-hour process in total, where we're going to help you write your book. You're going to get your ideas out on paper. You're going to have all the ideas that you're going to write about. You're going to have a system for being able to write every single day. You're going to have a daily writing plan. I'm also going to take you through the publishing and editing process and why you shouldn't be editing when you're writing, and also some of the pitfalls that some people fall under. I'm going to go over the structure of each chapter as well as the structure of the overall book to give you a framework so that you're going to be able to smash out 60,000 or 70,000 words, create a manuscript, take it to market, publish it yourself, and start using it as an authority piece. The reason that a stack like this can make me something like 100 grand or more, we haven't really measured it, is because it opens up, first of all, massive speaking opportunities. As soon as you tell people you've got a book, all of a sudden you're the speaker that people want to work with, especially if you've aimed at a particular market. It's also really difficult for customers to turn you down and negotiate on price when you're the expert. No one negotiates with the expert because they know what they're talking about. And as soon as you have the book, you become the expert. Don't think that you become an expert and then someone will say, hey, would you like to write a book based on your expertise? You become the expert from writing the book. That's how you become the authority within your market. So go ahead and click the link down below, or I'll put in a short link, something like sellyourservice.co.uk. I think it's /your first book or your -first book. And you can sign up and go ahead and check out how I'm going to teach you how to write a book in under 60 days, or at least give you the framework and the process to writing your manuscript, getting it published, getting it out there, as well as the systems and processes that I use to write my book and physically get the words out on paper, as well as a ton of hacks that have made my life way easier, and why we're already looking at books number 4, 5, and 6. Because the process is already done for us. And as I mentioned, we've already got most of the content. It's $297. It's a one-time fee. You can obviously get access to the recordings. We're gonna have 2 2-hour workshops, both on a Thursday, the 23rd of July and the 30th of July. I hope to see you there. If you've got any questions, post them in the comments down below. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'm Mike from Sell Your Service. Have courage, commit.